Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of She's Got Game. I cannot believe we're on episode 5 now. Like,
Yes.
we're doing big things. We're doing big things. Yeah, so thank you everyone for tuning in during our Women's History Month, and checking out our interviews and our guests. Like, we had so much fun talking to every guest that came on here. Hopefully we can do it more, even outside of March and Women's History Month. So let's just get
Yeah.
right into it. We just finished March Madness. Not gonna lie, the women's tournament definitely put March Madness on their back. Like, I don't know about
Absolutely.
you, but I wasn't really that into the men's tournament just because it wasn't exciting. Of course, the first round was good, but
Yeah.
because it's March Madness. But after that, I kind of like checked out until, maybe the final four. But the women's games they were good each week. Like from the UConn, Iowa, UConn, Baylor, all of those games were amazing. South Carolina, all of those games were amazing. So shout out to the NCAA women for putting on a great, 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 great product.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think that for me, it was just good seeing people talk about it on the timeline. Like, that's what I enjoyed. Having people argue about who should have won. Oh, this foul was a foul, it wasn't a foul. So as a women's sports stan, it like felt good to just see the whole timeline not talking about the men's tournament, but giving women love, especially after how they started.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
For sure. I think the tournament was pretty it was cool because I think the women, they actually had something to play hard for. You know what I mean? Like, they just drew this entirely big spotlight just based on the differences that how they treat the men versus how they treat the women, when they go to this supposedly March Madness big tournament. But, I feel as though once they had that spotlight, the women's really took it up a notch. With the men's, girl, I'm not gonna lie, I was uninterested after Michigan was put out. Like,
I know it
so
wasn't.
mad.
It wasn't really interesting at all. I
Yeah.
mean, there was like the big schools, I guess, for this tournament, but it wasn't even what we usually get, because usually we get Kentucky and we get Duke and we get North Carolina,
Right.
and we didn't really get that. So it was different. It was, and I think that just the men's tournament within itself is just way different than what it used to be. So shout out to the women for holding it down, especially the national championship game with Stanford and Arizona, because their viewership skyrocketed. They had, I
Yeah.
think, 4.1 million viewers for that championship game, and that was the most since 2014. So I mean, I know it's not where they want to be, especially how what we said earlier, how they were treated in the beginning of the tournament, but definitely making some really,
Night and
really,
day.
really big, yeah, really, really big strides there. So I just can't wait for next year to see. I can't wait for WNBA season to start now, and after watching that.
Yeah, the women are definitely leveling up. And so, look, big ups to all the ladies out there.
You
Look, we
know,
on
you
our
know,
way.
we gonna shout out y'all know we gonna
If
shout
we don't do
out.
nothing else.
If we don't do nothing else on this show, we are going to show love to the women. Point blank, period.
Because we don't get enough acknowledgement.
And that's
We
why we're
really
here,
out here.
to make
Yes,
sure we do.
absolutely. Sprinkling all type of fairy dust.
Yes.
All right. So moving on, the Washington football team hired their first Latina as a coordinator of football programs. Her name is Miss Natalia Durantes, I believe. And so she's to serve as the coordinator of football teams or whatever programs. And so she pretty much coordinates the schedules across a variety of departments, ranging from medical to scouting. Just to give her a little background, she was Texas A&M communication coordinator for the team. She also was a social media intern for the Arizona Cardinals. Funny thing about her is that she actually told a reporter that she pretty much slid in Coach Rivera's DM during on Twitter, and just to pretty much tell her to, hey, watch out for me. You know, she wanted to get on the radar. And now this season, she's, you know, a coach, and I think that's pretty cool. But she was also a part of their women's coaching forum last year. So I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think the most important part about it is what you said, like the whole Ron Rivera thing. Like, we need these coaches and we need people to be allies and to advocate for, you know, women. It can't just be us always talking about it and screaming about it and asking for it. Like, these people in the positions have to, you know, give us a shot. And right now, the people that are in power or that are in those positions are men, you know, the men coaches. And it's up to them to not just talk about it, but to be about it. And I think Ron Rivera has shown that. Like, we know that about him. He's gonna give the job to the best person, and he's gonna be fair. And that goes from his staff.
That's straight across the board.
That goes to his players. So he's fair, and we just need more coaches like that. We need more men in power that are going to give these women, us women, chances. And it starts with them. And I think Ron Rivera, he's doing a great job with diversifying his team. Like, since he got to Washington, he has been like amazing with, you know, picking his team. So shout out to him.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
He's definitely a stand-up guy all around. And Miss Natalia, she'll be the first Latina to hold that position, and she'll become the third woman to have that job. So you go, girl. We rooting for you. Hope you have a marvelous season.
Yes.
For sure. But that's really big for her.
Yeah. And I like that now it's not, yeah, she's the first Latina, but like now she's not the first woman. So like we're getting somewhere, you know, like what we were talking about a few episodes ago. Like, we want it to stop being a surprise and stop, you know, being shocking. And I feel like it's slowly but surely getting there, you know,
becoming a norm in a way.
Yeah, it's becoming a norm.
Not shocking news anymore.
Right. It's news, but it's not as surprising as, you know, it used to be this time last year, you know. So shout out to her. So moving on to a different topic. So the MLB, this was huge for me. So the MLB, they are moving the All-Star game from Georgia to, I think they're moving it to Denver now.
Yeah.
Due to the new voting laws in Georgia. And this is so big. It may not be, you know, some people may not think it's that big, but the fact that they are taking a stand like this and, you know, they're supporting their players of color who they have in the league, because there are, you know, a good amount of them. It's just huge. And, you know, for those who don't know, Georgia, they have their new laws basically kind of restrict people of color as far as access to voting. And you saw what the voting was in Georgia this past election.
Right.
So we know how big it is. We know what they're trying to do. You know what I'm saying? And we can't allow it to happen. We cannot, you know, be okay with that. And for the MLB in particular to do something like this, you know, I'm just being honest. Like, for them to do something like this, you know, it surprised me, and, you know, I respect it and I'm impressed. Honestly, yeah, they can do more. Everyone can do more, but this is a start. So I think that this is, you know, this is a big deal, because the MLB, they're not really known for doing things like this. You know what I'm saying? So
they pretty much always stay in their lane. Like,
yes, you know, we're baseball, you know, we're American sport, you know, and they usually just, you know, play ball. But, you know, the fact that now what's going on in the world is kind of affecting the different leagues is huge. And I think that, again, we have to thank the women of the WNBA, honestly, because I feel like it all started with them.
Yeah, they popped it off basically.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And
they definitely
I think,
popped it off.
yeah, I think that's huge. And now these players are putting pressure on these owners, putting pressure on these organizations. Like, hey, why are we supporting, this state if, this state is not allowing people who look like me to have an equal shot at this, that, and the third. And I feel like that's what it's time to do. That it's time to put pressure on these organizations that say they love these players, they respect these players.
Right.
Like, it's time. And I think, that was a perfect example of, the MLB like, listen, we don't want no smoke.
They also made a money move. Like, they told them, listen, we're projected to make over $100 million with this All-Star game. So all of that money is going to go to Denver and all of the surrounding areas around Denver. So they pretty much told Atlanta, okay, we're going to take, our game and our players and our money that we're going to contribute to your surrounding areas in your city and take it somewhere else. And, it kind of left people big mad.
Mm-hmm. Of course. We already know who's going to be mad.
Governor Abbott, I'm sorry, I have to call you out, sir. But
call him out.
It made people big mad, honestly. But it really means a lot for him to pretty much side with his players. And after the George Floyd case over the summer, that's when the MLB had pretty much all the African-American players of the MLB formed that alliance called, the Players Alliance, pretty much. And so with the commissioner of MLB partnering with them and pretty much taking a stand, that's like a really huge thing.
And I think what's also huge about it is just that it was supposed to be in Atlanta. You compare Atlanta to Denver, you know what I'm saying? Like that.
Yeah.
That's big, So I think that I got to give them credit for it. I hope that this isn't the end. I hope that they continue to speak on issues and act on issues and support their players, because players are what drive. Players are sports. You can't have sports without players, and organizations
you just can't tell them to shut up and dribble.
Yeah, they have to. Organizations just have to do a better job at supporting them, and I think this is the first step. So shout out to the MLB for that one.
Listen, all these leagues and different sports, they making Roger Goodell and the NFL look real bad. It's time for y'all.
It's so funny because every time something like this happens and an owner or someone, a commissioner does something, everyone always looks at Roger Goodell. Like, we can be talking about something completely different, and you
just think back about, just look at Roger Goodell. Like, so what you gonna do?
We just think about who's not doing something. Yeah, and I don't know. I don't think that Roger Goodell can come back from. No,
and if he comes back this season, this upcoming season with something, I feel like it's fake. It's
I just think that he's dropped.
You had the opportunity since 2016 around Colin Kaepernick time. So, dude,
I think that's what it is. I think he's dropped the ball so many times that, and so big and so huge like that. People are just like, whatever you do from here on out is phony. It's fake.
And the fact his league has the most Black people is just ridiculous.
I know. It's such a slap in the face. And
the organization has the most Black people.
Yeah, and that just goes to show you, like, the NFL, they got to start applying pressure. Like, they have to. They have to be the players.
There has to be enough of them to step up and really.
There are enough of them though, if they want to be. But I just feel like it starts with them. You know what I'm saying? Like, first of all, everyone watches football. Like, football is the sport, I think, because I just like football. But I think like football, it is. Football is a sport, and I think that we can come on here and talk about Roger Goodell and what he should do and what the NFL should do and how the owners treat their players. But if the players aren't saying anything, or if the players aren't, there's only so much we can do. We can talk about it all day. But if the players aren't applying the pressure, there's really nothing we can do. Like, they have to find their power within that league, and they have to use it because there's so much more powerful than they think. Yes.
Like,
Yeah, they just have to. They have to get that together because
At
they're
least majority.
yeah, they have so much power, and I just don't think that they're using it. I don't know if it's because they're scared. I don't know if it's because they may not care enough, but they have so much power, and I can't wait for the day where they actually use it.
Well, we calling you out, right? Like, no,
I
I'm just
know,
kidding.
right? All we do is call people out on this show. That's all we do is call people out. Call people out and talk about women.
We might need to change the show
That's all we
name.
do.
Say no.
That's all we do.
Say those biased girls.
I know.
Absolutely. Ooh. So we got the video of the week next.
And it's crazy because this is someone who has been on here for like the past 3 weeks for the wrong reason. And you know what? He must have heard us. He must have been watching this show because he done flipped it around now. We're gonna say something nice about him.
Mr. Shaquille O'Neal, can you come
report to
the Zoom call? So just kidding. No, but Shaquille O'Neal recently had went into Zell's jewelry store, and he said, I guess he has a jewelry line at Zell's as well. But he went into the jewelry store. He saw a guy trying to put an engagement ring on layaway for his fiance to be, and he overheard the guy as well asking him pretty much how much would he have left on the ring or whatnot. And so Shaq offered to pay for the engagement ring. And the guy turned him down at first, and then he insisted, and he pretty much bought the guy's engagement ring for his girlfriend. That is great. And
shut up. Yeah, I'm about to say, let's talk about the
let's talk about Shaq.
The good
Shaq,
stuff. Yeah.
You
Kudos.
did that.
Yeah.
You know, you're not always trying to read Candace Parker. Like when you're not reading Candace Parker, you do nice things.
Or
you're a great father, I know.
Candace Parker.
Yeah, when you're not trying to shade her or do the most, you know, you do great things.
Right.
So we commend you on that.
Yeah. Shout out to the players and the like past players and that do things like that. I think that's so cool. Like, you know, they're not too big to, you know, lend a helping hand or, you know, just like Shaq said, he just wants to make people smile. And I think that's super dope of him because he didn't have to do that, you know, so I just, that's super dope of him. Shout out to you, Shaq. We won't read you.
Not today.
Not today. You don't deserve it.
We'll give you your kudos, your flowers right now.
However, though,
I'm saying on the flip side.
So
if you're the woman,
come on.
How would you feel?
I don't understand.
Is that a problem or no?
No. The ring is paid. The ring is paid. I don't care how you're paying it. You know, like, you know, it's a story because, you know, Shaquille O'Neal and, you know, everyone's talking about it. So it's just like, you know, but it's really the thought that counts. And, you know, he was going to pay his own money and put it on layaway, but, you know, he was gonna. It's not like he couldn't afford the whole thing, but not many people can. Rings are expensive.
Listen, a lot of people, parents pay for their rings for their Beyonce.
Right. Or they make payments on their ring. So I don't think that it's a big deal. Girl, you got your ring is paid off. Like, and Shaquille O'Neal is the one that's
and look, and the money I was gonna spend for the ring, we're gonna put that towards the honeymoon.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Put it towards the wedding, put it towards the house.
Right. Anything.
So I don't have
that one dress.
That's what I'm saying. I don't have an issue. I'm gonna put the money towards the proposal now. You know, like I don't have an issue with that. What about you? What do you think?
You know, I don't think it's a bad thing. You know, like I said, some people parents get them the money to buy rings. I don't think it's more so, oh, you broke, you couldn't buy my ring. No, you had every intention on getting the ring. It's just, listen, a blessing happened that day, and now we got extra money to put towards somewhere else. And that's also another. That's really kind of a good story to tell.
That is,
you know, tell your kids. No, I might not say Shaquille O'Neal about your mama ring, but the time I met Shaquille O'Neal at the jewelry store, he offered to buy your mama ring, and I turned it down.
Right. And then he insisted and he kept bothering me and he kept,
Right.
so I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna let you pay for it. That's how you gotta tell it. You
I
can't be like,
would joke though, like, yeah, I'm married to Shaquille O'Neal.
period. Because honestly,
It's
you can
definitely
say
a joke.
that. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right. It's time to get into the goofy people, the goofy things that happened within the past week. Who are we starting with? Let's start with Brother Paul Pierce. Brother
Man,
Pierce.
Jesus.
Oh my God. I don't even know if I okay.
Let's
I don't even have the
take a few
words.
seconds to gather.
Yeah, I don't even have the words for him.
The
So,
buffoonery.
yes. That right there, so stupid. Number one. So stupid. So stupid. Not only because irresponsible, not only because you have a job, you have a wife. That's the most important thing for me. I don't really care about your job. Like, whatever. But for me, it's like your wife. Like, who? That's so embarrassing. That's so embarrassing. Second of all, you're too old. You're too old to be doing that and putting it on live. Like, come on. There's no excuse for that. And some people were like, oh, that's too much. Fireable. I don't know if that was fireable, but yes, it was. Because I don't want anyone like that representing my brand. But that's just me. Like,
and especially because
it just was tasteless. Yeah, it was just tasteless. Like him pointing and him, it
telling
just
people
made
to
my
come
stomach.
over. They should be there. While the girl in the back.
First of all, I need Monica to come to I need her to reveal herself. Who is she? Can we find her? Can we Facebook her? Can we Google her? Who is she?
We need the interview.
Yeah, I need her to report to this Zoom call. Like, I just think that it was just so tasteless, and I understand having fun, and I don't want to be that person. Why would he have strippers as girls? Whatever you gonna do what you're gonna do, whatever. But don't put it on Instagram live.
And not live.
Come on. First of all, it's yours. I would feel a little different if it wasn't him and someone was just like recording it.
Right. And he was just at the party, but it wasn't his live.
It wasn't his live. But the fact that it was his live, first of all, he looked
with him holding his camera like this.
He looked drugged out. He looked crazy.
Yeah, he was definitely on something. For sure.
He had to be. Then woke up the next day, tweeted, "Good morning, sir."
And then he tweeted something about the truth was something. Dude,
the truth will set you
free. The truth, you had your phone like this.
The truth is in the pudding, honey. Like, we see it. We saw it. And it just bothered me that he has this unbothered energy right now, which I get it. Like, It's cool. Like, try to be, I guess you got to do that you got to do it for the people. But come on. Your wife about to take all your money. You don't got no job. Like, and people are going to remember that. Like, even when on the TNT, on their basketball show, Shaq was talking about something. It was like unrelated to that, and he mentioned Paul Pierce and laughed because because hearing Paul Pierce made him think
that boy was out here trying to live his best life. And it cost him his life.
Yes, it cost him his reputation. It cost him his brand.
Yes. That's what terrible.
That's what that did. Like, now you're not Paul Pierce, the Hall of Famer.
I think what bothers me about it is just the lack of accountability afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, you really had your phone like this. This was your phone in your hand.
It was on for multiple minutes.
Sir.
Multiple minutes. Like, first of all, you're too old. You're way too old. I could see if you were a young player. Okay. You're not used to it.
Yeah.
It just wasn't a good look. Now, when people think of Paul Pierce, that's what they think of. They don't think of the all-time great Celtic. Not right now, at least, And honestly, people have been clowning Paul Pierce for the past decade, and this just adds to it. I don't know. I just wonder was it worth it? Like, was all those 300 views? First of all, we need to talk about him having 300 viewers, and he's Paul Pierce.
Why Wait, was it his close friends though?
No.
It was just on his regular live?
Yes. And 300 people, only 300 people tuned in his live. Like, first of all, no, what I need to go and I need to see how many followers he has, because for him to be Paul Pierce and he only had 300 people on his live, the math ain't mathing. Like,
have to be like about that time of the day.
He has almost 1 million followers. And it was about 300 people on that live. That's it. I'm done. Whatever. I hope. And then someone's trying to give him a contract to talk about basketball. To talk about basketball with erotic dancers in the a part of the show. It's a real thing. Someone offered him a contract.
Maybe that's what
he was at. Who.
It was the celebration party for it.
Okay. Well, yeah. Now it's not. Now he's out of a job, so
it better be one fair contract. Anyways, you want to talk about my man?
From one goofy to another.
Mr. What is his first name?
Hubert Davis.
Coach Hubert.
Hubert Davis.
Yeah, Coach Hubert Davis. So he is the new head coach for University of North Carolina. He is African American male.
He made sure to let us know that.
He's a very proud African American male. He laid down these statistics. He had an interview. Okay, I guess this is his interview of them introducing him or whatever. And so he pretty much goes into detail about the percentage of Black coaches throughout, I guess, college basketball, the percentage of coaches Black coaches at UNC. Okay, so from one goofy to the next, we're gonna talk about Coach Hubert Davis of UNC. Y'all check this video out real quick.
It is significant, Steve. It's significant that I'm African American and I'm the head coach here. It's significant. I know that in terms of Division I head coaches all around the country, only 26% of the head coaches for Division I men's basketball are compromised by minorities, specifically African Americans. I know that it is significant that I'm the fourth African American head coach in any sport in the history of the University of North Carolina. I'm very proud to be African American, but I'm also very proud that my wife is white. And I'm very proud that my 3 beautiful, unbelievable kids are a combination of both of us.
Okay. Where did it go wrong?
He had me. I was listening to that. I was listening I was like, yes, proud, be proud. And then I was just like.
I almost hit the Viola Davis, grabbed my purse and
or the LeBron James.
Yeah, did it hit the LeBron James with the sunglasses? Because who
doing?
Asked for that information?
What are we doing? What are we doing?
I mean, granted, I don't think it's anything wrong that you're married to a white woman. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with you having mixed kids. That's beautiful. The world is progressing now. It's progressive. So it's a lot of that. So it's a beautiful thing. However,
I'm loving this political answer, Sequoia.
Listen, because I got to give it to you, the right way and then the other way.
Go ahead.
Which is the however. Sir, who asked for that information? And why do you have to feel validated by them to say that you have a white wife? You go to say, I love that I'm African American and I love that I have a white wife. And like, but who asked for that? No one asked.
I don't see what that has to do with
Your
you being a black coach at UNC. I
Well, I
just don't
think you
get it.
wanted some type of validation.
What validation for what? For having a white wife?
I mean, so he can feel accepted or something.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, UNC, there goes your new coach. Like, I just didn't get it. I didn't understand what the purpose of it was.
It was going so good though.
Let me tell you, I was like,
so
yes.
Proud of him.
Yes, I was like, yes, you better be proud. Yes, we don't see this every day, and it's time for a change. Like, he had me. I think
he was like, wait, I'm getting too black. Let me will it back in.
Yeah, let me will.
I was a little too Afrocentric right now. Let me will it in a little
I just
too.
Don't get it. I don't understand it. Shout out to you, I guess.
Congratulations.
You're on your way, I tell you. Like, you and your
talk about shooting yourself in the foot, though. Like,
yes, I think he had everyone and then lost them forever.
Yeah,
because I don't want to make it seem like it's because of him being married to a white woman. That is not it.
He willed us all the way up.
Yeah, I just think that
tip of the cliff and then dropped us.
I just feel like it's more of him feeling the need to bring that up while he's saying he's proud of being a black man. How does you being proud of being a black man and you being proud that you have a white wife, what do you make, like, what makes that relate?
There's no correlation between the two.
But there is for him. And that's what the problem is.
But I mean, if he would have just said, I love that I'm African American, I love that I have my family, my wife and my kids, you didn't really have to specify that I love that I have a white wife. But I mean, I don't know. I just don't understand. Maybe
it's important for him.
He meant it in a different way.
I think that it's important for him. It's important that people know that. And I think that's what the problem is. Why do you correlate you being proud to be a black man with you being proud to have a white woman, a white wife? I don't like it. I don't know. Yeah. I don't like it at all. And then him saying like, and I'm proud of my mixed kids.
My 3.
I get it. Like, I get you love your family, but I think he could have said it in a different way. Like you said, I'm thinking deep into it because it is deep, because he said it for a reason.
Oh, so yeah,
there's something there's something there.
I'm telling you, I think he probably was like, he was going in a little too deep with his, proud to be a black man spill, and he had to just bring the rest.
Let me make sure. Let me
tell y'all made a good decision by telling you that I'm proud to have a white wife.
My kids are mixed,
and I got mixed kids. Yes,
my kids are white too. Like, I don't like it.
50%.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it at all. He almost had me though.
I'm sorry, Coach Davis, but
sorry, no, that's not working. It wasn't working for me.
I'm gonna say that we just read both of them, so that was just a read, really.
That was a read times 2. That was a read times 2.
Absolutely. Well, Chanel, listen. We thought this was gonna be a really quick episode.
I know. We always think that, and then
was kind of long.
It was. The editing team have their work cut out for them, like they do every episode. Sorry, because we're talkers. But thanks you guys for staying with us and giving us feedback and tuning in every episode and following us and supporting us. We're gonna keep rolling.
Absolutely.
Episode 5.
And you know where to find us.
Yes.
On our YouTube page or any of our social media platforms at Spot on Sports. So go ahead and type that little bell button, press that.
Yes, type the bell button so you can get the notifications when we have a new episode, especially with other shows as well, because Spot on Sports, they're kicking out the content. So just go ahead and get that bell so you can stay up to date with all of the content that they are bringing to you.
And that's that on that.
And that's that one. That.